Okay, let's wait till some people tune in here. It's very convenient here where I'm sitting, right next to the tomato bushes. Let's see. There you guys are. Some people tuning in there. Hello, everybody. Good to see you join in. Hello, this is Simeon here. Thought I would give you another update on this beautiful day here. I'm sitting inside the greenhouse and it is nice and warm in here. It is about 15 degrees outside and probably one of the last days here on the homestead and last warm days here on the homestead before fall and winter is coming, so I'm really enjoying it. Good to see you guys tune in here. Hi everyone. So on Tuesday we're gonna sell a lot of these remaining tomatoes in here. You know, frost could come very soon and we don't know for how much longer these tomatoes will be in here. The tomatoes have already been struggling with the fluctuation in the temperature here, where it gets very cold at night, and then when the sun comes it warms up, and then there's pressure that the temperature changes too quickly, and then they split open. So we've had some issues with that. But now on Tuesday we're doing, we have reduced prices, so people are getting higher quantities of tomatoes now. Hi guys, tuning in from all over the world there. That's awesome. Hello from Sweden. Hey på dig. It's funny. We don't get so many viewers from Sweden actually in comparison to everybody. Texas watching. Oh, it's good to see you guys and hear you tune in here. Anyway, feel free to ask some questions. As I'm here, I'm gonna try to answer a few and gonna share a few thoughts. Otherwise, Finland there as well. That's awesome. Yeah, so selling most of these plants. You can see here. Let me move the camera a little bit. You guys can see that there's still quite a lot of produce here, but a whole bunch of it is sold actually already. We'll just have to just pick it and deliver it to the customers now on Tuesday. Now I'm waiting for some questions from you guys, but I want to talk about something else. Maybe we can have a little bit of a discussion here. Many of you guys know that one of my big things has always been that I want to use heritage breed birds as layers and not hybrids. And my main reason for that has always been that I do not like the killing of the rooster chicks right when they hatch. In Sweden, that's 50,000 chicks a day that are being killed, and it's more if the country is bigger, because they don't have any use of the roosters. They don't have much meat, and so on and so on. So I never liked that, and there is no breed available. They're just hybrid birds here in Sweden. You have hatcheries like Murray McMurray in the States, where it seems like you can order higher quantity, even heritage birds. But over here, you can pretty much just buy hybrid layers. And that led me to having to buy my own breeding material, and cost me to upfront a lot of money and raise different heritage breeds, check out which one has the best performance, and so on and so on. Now, this leaves me every time I hatch with half of them roosters and half of them layers. So I raise them both. I raise the roosters for meat, and I raise the layers, the pullets, so they will become layers. And now we have done this for 2 seasons, and looking back at it, it is a very, very difficult business economically. And the reason for that is that we haven't had a butcher shop, so we haven't been allowed to sell the roosters yet. So a lot of money obviously goes into the roosters, raising them, and we haven't gotten any money back except for we didn't have to buy our own chicken meat. That was our chicken meat. But now we haven't been able to sell any of the roosters, so the only income... Well, almost dropped my tomato. That was a bad idea. Now I have to talk with my mouth full. Anyway, the only income that we've had, the only return of money in this whole system has been the egg sales. And, you know, we haven't even been able to then slaughter the hens from last year's as stewing hens, or whatever you call them. I think that's what they're called. And so we always have to upfront the money to raise a chicken as well, and then the chicken has to lay for several months before it has paid for itself. So this has been very tricky and everything, and all that I wanted to do, because I didn't want to buy hybrids and get away from this whole hybrid thing because of the killing of the chicks. I just don't like it, how the whole money making thing is. Now, this system would work if I could sell the roosters as meat birds. The breast is a delicacy, it is world famous, and so it's easier to sell than other heritage breeds. And it would also work if I could use the hens again as stewing hens. And it will work if I could have a higher egg price. Right now, I'm selling my eggs for 3.33 Swedish crowns per egg. That means a tray of 30 eggs goes for 100 Swedish crowns. And that is not cheap, but not expensive either. The people that there are farms, organic farms in Germany that I know of, that do this with the breasts, with the heritage breeds, that sell them for 4 to 5 Swedish kroner per egg, which is noticeably more than what we sell them for. So I don't think that I can have those prices here. I don't think there are many people willing to pay those prices. So right now, I haven't done all the calculations yet, but I'm soon gonna come to this crossroad where I have to make a decision. I definitely want to have a butcher shop at some point. I definitely want to have a butcher shop where I can sell both broilers and the heritage roosters that I raise. We just need that eventually. I hope we'll have the money for that soon. But I still have to make the decision. Will I try to find some people that are willing to pay this really high egg price? Or will the chickens have to pay the price and I buy hybrids? I always say that somebody has to pay the price for the egg. Either it's the chicken or it's the people. Because, you know, everybody knows if you buy a car or if you buy a computer or if you buy a cell phone or a tool, the more you pay, the more you get. It's just that with food, people typically want to buy the cheapest. So I'm right now in this position, you know, if this doesn't work economically with the heritage birds, and it's very tough, very narrow path there to not being profitable, then I can't do it anymore. Do I then sell no eggs at all? Or do I actually offer eggs from hybrids again? And this is due to the availability. There is just no hatchery around where you can buy heritage breeds. I don't know. I'm just putting this out there. I would like to hear some input from you guys, what you think about this. You know, that there are people, you know, there are people who say, well, it's better if you raise hybrid eggs. They're still doing better out on pasture and having a much better life than the people if they raise them in the factory buildings, and that is true. But still, if there are no farmers ever willing to push in the direction of let's get an alternative for hybrids, then will there ever be any movement or any progress away from this killing of the chicks or other problems with the hybrid layers? So that is the questions, and I'm just wanting to put that out there to you guys as well, so you can give your input on that. We've had discussions early on this channel when we started it in October last year. I think October, November somewhere. We had some discussions about this whole hybrid thing, but this is basically where we are. So let me see if you guys are putting some, giving me some input here. Letting me see if you write some comments here. Do you have to rotate your flock every year with the heritage breeds? You mean like switch out the layers, like process them and then get new young pullets in the next year, or what do you mean with rotate the flock? If you could write that a little more in detail maybe for me. Yes, that's what you. Okay, well, we keep them for 2 seasons. You know, that's what we have been doing, and that seems to work okay to keep them for 2 seasons. Yeah, I think that's really depends on, you know. You have, for example, a farm north of us that uses hybrids. They switch them out every year. You could keep them for 2 years as well. You have Joel Salatin who keeps his for 2 years as well. So you would have both options there. Okay, well, we really have to see here now. You know, now that the summer is coming to an end, we really want to um, look at everything that we did and stuff. We sold a lot of chicks this year, and we sold a lot of hatching eggs, so that speaks for it. Um, you know, the thing is that I it worked economically for me this year because I was able to sell chicks and hatching eggs. That's the only reason why we didn't go negative like crazy on this. Um, so let's see. Somebody asked, what's wrong with hybrid roosters? Well, we're not talking about broilers, but when it comes to the layers, the Lohmann breed specifically, they're just bred to be so tiny and small that the roosters are really, they grow super slow, have no meat on them. It wouldn't be worth it for the industry to raise them for meat. So that's why they kill them the day they hatch. They just want to raise the um, layers. Yeah, that's right. You can't continue to breed with hybrids. You're dependent upon the industry and have to buy them all the time. Yeah. What's the best heritage breed? Well, over here, the best heritage breed is the Bresse that comes from France because it's the best dual purpose heritage breed, which you want and need to get away from this problem of killing the chicks, because you want to be able to use both the layer and the rooster as well. So you need to have a bird that lays okay and that also has okay meat. So that's why you need to find a dual purpose breed. You might have the Leghorn that lays better than the Bresse maybe, but they don't have good meat on them either. Somebody asks if I want to export eggs to the US. You know, I've thought about this, but I've looked into it a little bit, and it just seems super difficult. Like, I don't know. I think there's a reason why there's only been one farm that has done that in the US. Okay, let's see here. Somebody asked in Swedish if I could sell the eggs a little further. Yes, probably. You could always try to find a niche where, you know, one thing that people say, it's easier to find 100 customers that are willing to pay $1,000 than to find 1,000 that are willing to spend 100. So, you know, in that sense, marketing is important, but at the same time, my heart is to make good and sustainable, healthy food available for more people. That's partially one reason why we are not organic certified, because that would just add a whole nother load of you know, paperwork and all of that, and bills into this whole thing. So we would have to pay more, and the customer will have to pay for it. Is organic farming more profitable? Well, kind of touches what I just said. I don't like when people have to pay. Um, I don't like when people have to pay just for a label, and I think there's a lot of poor agriculture even hidden behind organic labeling in some cases. Yeah. There's no news yet on the mining thing. I'm really sorry about that. Somebody said go Australorp. Well, we used Australorps here, and they by far don't perform as well as the Bress, but they are great birds. I really like the Australorp, but they are 20%. The Bress is 20% better than the Australorps. I think brown eggs is what people like more. Somebody asked that question. How's the goose doing? The goose is doing fine. We have had no more hawk attacks inside the electric poultry netting. Um, and now when they are under the hazelnut bushes, I just posted a picture to Facebook. It's beautiful. You guys should go and check it out on our Facebook page. You know, the chickens are just under the hazelnut bushes where they can hide. It's awesome. By the way, even if you don't have Facebook, you should still be able to check out our Facebook page. If you just Google Swedish Homestead Facebook, it should come up and you should be able to view our page even if you don't have a profile. Just FYI. Let's see here. No, I have never tried other birds for eggs than chickens. Never done that. It's an interesting thought. Yes. What do I feed my chickens, and how do they do in the wintertime? Well, that's another thing. Production is starting to go down already. We have shorter days. We have cold nights already. And I've noticed a drop in egg production already. We're at about 50% right now. And so winter is sometimes tough. Usually when I put them in the greenhouse here, maybe in a month or something, production kind of gets stabilizes itself, so it doesn't go down further because of the nice, dry, warm and bright environment in here. But when it gets really cold, obviously production drops way down. But that's okay, you know. We don't try to get our chickens to lay like crazy throughout the winter. We try to go with the seasons, but it is a challenge. If and you see, if it doesn't work through the summer economically, you're gonna go way down during the winter. So you need to make a good profit in the summer in order for it to work in the winter time. Let's see here. There was another question. Somebody asked if you can buy breast chickens from me. Yes, if you live in Sweden, you can. You can order, pre-order living birds or hatching eggs and so on. Somebody asked if I had the winter shelter ready for the cows yet. Well, here's the thing. We decided not to build one right now, also due to the whole mining thing and everything. We're going to use the neighbor's shelter. She has had Highland cattles about 10 years ago. She used to have them, and she has a couple small shelters that were accepted by the government, and so that's what we're going to use now to have our cows in this winter. We still have to get in touch with the government and see if they will accept that. And during winter time here in the greenhouse, we put some grain in the deep bedding so that they will stretch through it. We've tried it fermented and just the way it was, normal grain, and otherwise they eat their normal winter feed, or not the normal winter feed. Excuse me, I'm a little. There are a lot of background noise back there. That they eat just a normal feed that they pick up and eat now during summertime as well. We continue the same pellets pretty much that we buy at a local mill here. So that's what they eat during winter time. You see, I got to wrap this video up. It has gone quite a while. I'm gonna answer a few more questions that I just saw, but I gotta wrap this up here very soon. Um, and earlier in the video, if you weren't tuned in, I encourage you to do so. I talked about economics and hybrids and heritage breeds and all of that. One alternative to that is obviously to do it kind of like Carl Hammer does in Vermont, compost, where he has $0 cost on his chicken feed, and then it doesn't matter how much they lay and all of that, then it is profitable. So if you can reduce feed cost a lot, even for big size commercial chicken flocks, that would obviously be be a solution as well. So alternatives for grain. Somebody asked, what does the government there have to do with cow shelter? Well, um, every farmer has to follow certain rules that apply to, for the animals' well-being, and some of them are stupid and some of them are really good, and I believe that's the same in most countries. I know the US has many rules like that as well, and there's one rule that says that if you're not enrolled in a special program that's called ranch drift, where you have your cows outside without shelter, where they have natural shelters like bushes and trees and stuff, that but you need to be enrolled in that program and pay a fee, then you have to provide a shelter with a certain amount of space for each cow, and the shelter needs to be closed on 3 sides, windproof. And the thing is that the Highland cattle breed that we have, you can build that shelter, they lay never in it. They just like to be outside, even in strong winter. They like to have this much snow on their back and be out there. Um, they don't care about the shelter at all. But still, you have to have it according to law. But yeah, that's about it. Well, anyways, guys, want to encourage you here to just you know listen or watch this video when we're done here now. um, Give your input on the comments section, and just let me know what you think about this issue. um, you know it's challenging to push a little family homestead in the direction of farming, especially in some things you might have to compromise really in order to make a profit. I would be much further had I just bought 500 layers, hybrid layers. I would have had much more money. I would have had way more chickens. It has taken me 2 years to buy all the breeding material and get started, and a lot of cost. And you know, I really need to make a decision here soon. But check it out if you missed it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for all your support, how you guys just faithfully watch this channel. I know we haven't been as faithful with posting videos. It's been very busy, and health issues in the family as well. And we do the best we can, and your support definitely helps. Also, the Patreons or patrons or however you call it, those of you guys who support us there, thank you so much. You guys are a great encouragement. Um, it just means a lot to us. But thanks for watching, and we will see you very soon here. Have a good day. Bye.